Hello everybody, welcome back. I got a lot of things I want to cover and I just want to jump right into it, so let's just do it. First thing we're going to talk about is the NIO phone. The NIO phone just got announced the other day, and my impression of just kind of reading through different groups. I have a NIO group for foreign owners in China, a NIO group for people in Shenzhen, there's different groups, and impressions are kind of different. They're kind of mixed between the different groups. It seems like my impression from that chat is that a lot of people in the group are like, we don't need a NIO phone. We already have our phones. It doesn't seem that enticing to us. And then in my Chinese groups, at the same time, when the phone got announced, the same kind of conversations were happening. And there was actually a lot of people that were like screenshotting their orders. They bought the phone immediately. So kind of a different vibe. However, in the Chinese group, there were some questions like, who's going to buy this besides NIO owners, right? And the responses were, nobody's going to buy it except for NIO owners and tech vloggers, essentially. It's not a phone for general populace. So that's the vibe going on in the group chats that I'm in. And so that's just, oh, here comes the dog. Hello, easy. Okay. So that's the general vibe I got from those two group chats. Chinese people are kind of gung-ho about it. Foreigners maybe less so, but we'll see. I should be having my hands on a NIO phone here fairly soon. As soon as I get it, I will probably make quite a few videos, maybe like an unboxing video and some testing the cameras and whatever else I can do with it. But we'll see. I don't have it yet, obviously. One thing that really surprised me after they announced the phone, one of the first things I did was actually I went to the NIO app. I tried to book a car. So we're going to do that together right now. I will screen record this and I will show you something. And I feel like it's kind of a missed opportunity right now with the NIO and the NIO phone, but I'm sure they will hopefully change this in the future. So I got my phone out and we're going to go through this, okay? So we're going to try to book an all-new EC6, right? And we got to remember that the NIO phone starts at about 6,500 RMB and goes up to about 7,500 RMB. So if we start the starting price with an all-new EC6 is 358,000 RMB. Let's check the battery. Let's buy it with battery as a service because most people do that. So we're going to try to do what, generally speaking, most people would do. And we're going to choose a 75 kilowatt hour battery pack. And so now our price is 288,000. So there's a few standard colors: white, gray, black, and blue. Light blue are all standard colors for free. But then once you get past those standard colors, you have 10,000 RMB extra for different colors. So that 10,000 RMB would be for purple, the Arctic green, this goldenish color, and then blue, Southern Star blue, and then the other blue, I forget what that one is in English. Those are all 10,000 RMB extra, so think about that price, right? We're going to choose blue, I guess. So now we have the wheels. There's one standard wheel that comes for free included. After that, you have 3,500 for wheels for 20 inch, 21 inch, 9,500. And you got 17,000 for these other 21 inch. So we're going to go with the 20 inch for 3,500. And the next one we're going to do is look at the brake calipers and the moon logo. So brake calipers are 3,500 and moon logo is 4,500. So if you want orange brakes and you want gray logo, altogether, that's 8,000 RMB. Right? I'm not going to pick those. Keep going. Okay, here we go. So we can choose different colors of interior. We can choose different material, the Haptex or the Napa leather. If we choose Napa leather, it adds 16,000 RMB to the total, and it also includes a 5,500 RMB comfort package for the back seat to have massage and all that stuff. That's included with the Napa leather. We'll just go back to Haptex. Okay. Go for the cheaper material. And now we have the key right here, black or white. Both are included with the cost of the car. Now, here's where I think NIO should have the phone as an option, for you can choose a phone as a key instead of black or white, or in addition to, they can add that right there on that screen as a upgrade, as a purchase, and I'm going to tell you why in a minute. So it should be there. Choose black key, okay? Or it could be in this section right here, one of these two sections. It should be, but it's not. And I feel like it's a huge missed opportunity. So Nomi Mate is 4,900. Backseat is 5,500 for the comfort package. And then you have the dimming skylight, the roof. That would be 9,500. So most people choose Nomi, so I'll choose Nomi. 306,000, okay. And then we have the final one, another place where you could add the phone as an option. final one is $7,500 for a tow hitch. Inbox $4,600 that allows you to connect up to 4 AR glasses. And then the other one is, I think, heated windshield wipers or something like that. So that's for $1,000. I'm not going to choose any of those. So a couple things here. Once it loads. Okay. So that's 306,000 RMB for a car. So my first thing is, if I'm paying 306,000 RMB for a car, pretty standard, not fully equipped, but pretty standard. To me, in my mind, and maybe my mind is broken, but to me, in my mind, adding 6,500 for a phone that has a lot of functionality and is like a kind of like an accessory for the car, I find that to be a pretty good, almost a no-brainer to add that. I'm already paying 306,000. In my mind, 312,000 over the course of, 5-year loan or whatever is not a big deal. Or if I'm paying for the car outright with cash, which that's how I buy cars, to be honest. I've never had a car loan, so I don't really know how that works. But if I'm buying with cash, in my mind, again, there's no difference between 306,000 and 312,000. Really, it's such a no-brainer, especially like if I'm going to choose between like some of the other accessories, like an Inbox or a Nomi or something like that. The way I feel it is that, in my mind, out of all the accessories and options that NIO does offer, the phone is a really easy one to attach to because we all are used to having phones. We all know what it is. You might not know what Nomi is. You might not really care about some of the other stuff, but you see that, okay, it's a better key, adds functionality to the car. It's only 6,000. I buy it with the car, tack it onto my loan. No big deal, right? That's the way I see it. And like, even again for me, like when I bought my AC6, you might remember, I was just like, I'm just going to add everything because I want it to get fully kitted out, fully decked out. That's what I would do. Why not just buy the best, fully kitted out? So for me, if I would have bought my car, 2 years ago, if I would have bought it today, if they would have had a phone on here and I was a new NIO prospective buyer, they would have had a phone to add on to that. I would definitely have just checked the box. So I'm really, really surprised that when they launched the phone, they didn't add that as an option when you're buying the car. So I think that's a huge missed opportunity, but I'm sure they will rectify it very, very soon. Okay, so let's moving on from there. Let me know what you guys think about that, etc., etc. Now, next, you may have seen that I went to the NIO F2 NIO Park in Hefei. Really, really good time. If you haven't seen that, watch the video. It's linked in the description. It's linked here, whatever. A couple things about that is one new thing they added to the test drives, which is really cool, is this other thing I'm going to show you right now, is after your test drive, you get sent like a push notification in the NIO app. And what they do is they kind of summarize your experience test driving the car. That shows you where you went. It shows you that you experienced the speed of the NIO and all this stuff. It shows you information about the city you do the test drive in. So I was in Hefei. It says there's like 28 battery swap stations in Hefei. There's like 10,000 chargers in Hefei from NIO. So you're always going to have power. It shows you all this stuff. And then at the end of it, it's like a little kind of animation thing, a video. And then at the end of it, it puts you into like their sales funnel. The last button you click adds you to like where you can purchase the car and start configuring your iCha, like your car. So I think that's really cool. I don't remember them ever having that before. They may have, but my other test drives, I never noticed it. It was very prominent after I did the test drive. So I think that's a really good opportunity for them to, push the sale, show you how much fun you had with the car, how good the charging infrastructure is, and get you to start thinking about the purchase right away. So that's really interesting. And then the final thing I want to say is that NIO, of course, in China, their staff, their service is so, so good. So I spent quite a few hours in the NIO house there in Hefei. They gave me the tour. They told me a lot of different things. Very, very welcoming. But the most important thing is when I left Hefei, when I was leaving, I was like, hey, I'm going to go get a taxi, right? I need to get a taxi to the airport. And they're like, no problem. We'll drive you to the airport. And now it's not a big deal, right? Like it's only about a 15-20 minute drive from the NIO house to the airport. It's, an industrial area 40 kilometers out of town. It's not such a huge deal, but like it just goes to show that like they're empowered to try to make their customers happy, even I'm not really a customer anymore. I hope that, things like that, the customer service like that, can rub off on the people in Europe, because, I don't want to talk about Europe again. That's, that's a story from the past. I'm sure they're doing much better, but that's the kind of thing that like it sticks in your mind where it's like, no. We are going to make sure you get to the airport on time right now. Hop in the car. We will chauffeur you there. No cost at all. Nothing like that. And you might say, oh, that's more wasted employee hours. That's more cash burn. That sort of thing. That's also the sort of thing that leaves an impression on the user. So I'm sure it's not just me. I'm sure if it's anybody else at the NIO house who was visiting, even if they're not a customer, even if maybe they wanted to consider looking at a car before they headed to the airport, you know what? I'm sure they would also offer the same service to people. No questions asked. They're just like, yeah, let's do it. Let's go. And so that's the kind of thing that I expect from NIO, but also it's still unexpected because other companies aren't going to do that. So that's it. Thank you to NIO for that. And we'll see how everything else goes. I look forward to still having an ET5 touring coming soon and driving around China again and having a NIO phone to make some content with. So look forward to that. Subscribe, like, do all that good stuff. See you guys later. Bye-bye.